Okay, so the one thing you always need to remember is you can't have any fractions when you, I don't want to say you can't have any fractions, but when you're going to solve it, all of your fractions need to be rewritten, okay? So, how can I rewrite 1/4? It's 4 to the negative 1. Remember, when you rewrite 1/4, it's going to be rewritten as not a whole number with a negative exponent. Okay? Now we have 64 3x plus 1. So that's one thing that you need to remember is anytime you have a fraction, just take the denominator and write it with a negative exponent. And the negative exponent would be negative 1. Okay, now it becomes just like we were doing. Can I rewrite 64 with a base of 4? 4 to the third. So I'm going to leave 4 to the negative 1x, and I'm going to change 64 to 4 to the third power. So that 64 is rewritten as 4 to the third power, but I still have that exponent that's in there, so I need to include it. And now the bases are the same, and I can bring them down. So I would have negative 1x equals 3 times 3x plus 1. Negative 1x will stay. This becomes 9x plus 3. Let's subtract 9x from both sides. Negative 10x equals 3. Divide by negative 10. And x equals negative 3/10. It's not a beautiful fraction, but it's a fraction. You guys, in my other periods, they asked me, are you going to be able to change each base? Like, are you going to be able to change each number? They're going to work out. Yes. The bases that don't work out, that's later in this unit. But for this unit, everything works out. Okay? Here we go. So the first thing I notice is what? Okay, I notice this. What do you guys notice? There's two fractions. No fractions. We need to rewrite the fractions. So how do I rewrite 1/36 as a whole number?
36 to the negative.
So 36 to the negative 1, and I have to multiply it by negative 1 times w plus 2. I'm going to leave the inequality. You guys, the inequality acts just like an equal sign. How can I rewrite 1 over 216? Negative 1 times 4 to the w. Okay. Now, I'm thinking 216 is not that big, so 36 times 36, because 36 squared. Oh, 36 times 36 is way too big. So what would I rewrite it as? Yeah, so I'm going to rewrite 36 as 6 squared times negative 1 times w plus 2. And I'm going to rewrite 6 to the 216. I'm going to rewrite as 6 to the third times negative 1 times 4w. Okay, so the bases are the same now. And now, since the bases are the same, I can set the exponents up. I'm actually going to do a little math before I write them. I'm actually going to take care of the 2 times the negative 1, which is negative 2 times w plus 2. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, and negative 3 times 4 is negative 12w. So I did all of that math to get to there. 3 times negative 1 times 4 is negative 12w. Now I need to distribute. I get negative 2w minus 4 is less than negative 12w. Oh, sorry. Let's move that up. I apologize. And now what am I going to do? Add 2w to each side. I get negative 4 is less than negative 10W. Now here's my question to you. What are we going to divide by? A negative 10.
So the thingy switches.
Yeah, so what switches?
The inequality.
Yes, the inequality sign is going to switch because we're dividing by a negative number. So we're going to divide by that negative 10. And because we divided, this inequality is going to change from a less than to a greater than. So this will be W, and we should reduce this. But for right now, we can leave it as 4/10.
Students, this is the last chance to purchase prom tickets. Monday, 3/20.